What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm hiking Manistee River, actually, with a couple of friends. I got my daughter, got my buddy Phil back there with his daughter. And so I thought it'd be fun as we're hiking to talk to you about some gear, actually, that I bring with me that I never ever tell you guys about. I do bring gear with me that, you know, sometimes at the last minute I'll just grab something and because the trip's going to change, or I don't know, just circumstances change. I do gear load out videos for a lot of the trips, but not always. And sometimes right before I head out the door, maybe the weather changed or just circumstances changed, so I grab something that I need. Now when I'm hiking with kids, that always happens. I'm always ended up bringing something that seems to need to change.
This is the worst part about your dad being on a YouTube channel. He never stops filming me. Ever.
Let's teach y'all something here, huh? Check this out. So we come across poison ivy. If you don't know what poison ivy looks like, this is what poison ivy looks like. Sometimes you come across plants that look like poison ivy, but it actually has thorns on it. That's not poison ivy. Poison ivy does not have thorns, and there's a lot of plants that look very similar to this. So how you test it is you rub it all over your face. No, you don't do that. It's always better to err on the side of it's probably poison ivy. So my daughter just set down her backpack up against this tree over here that has some poison ivy near it, and we pulled it out of there real quick because we are filtering water here at this stream. You don't want to be on the video or what?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Lunch spot. I think this will do.
So many horseflies. There's a trail that leads to the beach. Whoa, that's a perfect spot. Park there and get to swim.
Can we park there and swim, and then we can go to that other place?
That sounds awesome.
Are these still the best chairs?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. I love those chairs. Best chairs I can find. If you guys can find better chairs than this, let me know.
I have one of these. Those look good. Or I have chicken and meat.
There you go.
That was a good lunch. So the first piece of gear that I bring with me that I don't hardly ever tell you guys about, and it's really because I just started using it, and actually you guys probably know I use it, but it's a combo of gear that's actually really cool, and you can actually see it right now. It is this right here. It is the Katadyn Be-Free water filter combined with this aqua clip. This is genius. Genius, because on my last hike, I think it was, I realized that I could get this clip to just barely fit around the bottle because it's meant for a little bit smaller of a bottle, but once I got it to clip on there, I mean, I shouldn't say barely, but it had to spread out a little bit farther to get to work, but snapped on there, and man, now I don't even have to carry an extra water bottle, but you can just take this off, drink, and then only if I got an extra hand it's easier, slip it back on there and you're done. And then from filtering, this Katadyn Be-Free water filter is amazing. It's got a really wide head on here, scoops the water really easily. Obviously not as easy as my Knock Vecto, but for what this can do as far as ease of use, it's just awesome. So I could just literally scoop up some water, screw the cap back on, aqua clip it to my pack, and hike. It's awesome. So I hiking along here and came across this campsite. These guys I saw, he's got a camera set up right there, and I thought, I bet you he's a YouTuber. Turns out he's got a YouTube channel. What's your channel?
It's Evan Miller Guitar, or Evan Miller Retired at 20. I'm Evan Miller, the lead guitar player from Siren out of Rochester Hills, Michigan.
That's awesome.
You never know who you run into on the trail.
That's right, and he's got awesome glasses. He's got the Oakley Holbrooks.
Yep,
those are the exact same ones I got.
I think I have the cross range.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're essential out here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these are nice.
Never know who you're going to run into. That was pretty cool. You retired at 20 years old? That'd be a channel I'd subscribe to. Before I show you the second piece of gear, we're gonna go swimming. The girls are already in the water. It's like, what's the temperature right now, you think? 90? It's gotta be like 90 degrees out, so it's brutal. Plus the flies, the black flies are out, and they are ruthless. That was awesome. It's cold, but it is hot outside. It's like 90 degrees. This water's gotta be probably, what do you think, maybe 70 degrees? So it's chilly, but man, that was awesome. Okay, so the next piece of gear I want to show you, by the way, that was so refreshing, is a piece of gear that I often bring, especially when I bring kids, and sometimes I'll bring it just because it's something I carry as my everyday carry. If you guys are interested in what my EDC is, I will link a video that I did a couple months back right up here for you guys. You can check that out. But it is the Nightcore TUP. This is a 1,000 lumen flashlight that is really awesome for backpacking for one huge reason. So this tells you exactly how many lumens you're at and how long you've got left as far as battery life. So I'm at 200 lumens and I've got 2 hours and 20 minutes left. I'm at 1 lumen, 53 hours. And this thing goes all the way up to 1,000 lumens, and I got 19 minutes for 1,000 lumens. Thing is pretty water resistant. You can clip it on your hat if you want to as a headlamp, if you just want to bring something like this. Weighs like 1.5 ounces, and it is USB rechargeable. The other really cool thing is that since it goes down to 1 lumen, I can just kind of stick this up in the top part of the tent. A lot of tents have like a white piece of nylon up there that helps disperse light. Sort of like a lantern inside of the tent, and so if I got kids in there, this is really comforting for them. Put it at 1 lumen, lights up the tent for an hour while they're falling asleep, then I turn it off. And so pretty cool little piece of gear. This is a lot easier to get to camp than hiking, I will say that. Good morning. I'm going to tell you about the third piece, the third piece of gear now. We're finally packing up. It was a really nice night, actually. We're going to actually canoe and kayak about 5 miles out to our car and head home. But before we do that, let me talk about this last piece of gear I bring that I normally never tell you guys about. Okay, this is what I keep on my backpack. It's called the Pack Towel Nano. And you've probably seen this on some of my videos as I'm hiking, and maybe you watched the gear loadout video and I didn't talk about it, but all of a sudden there it is hanging on my backpack. Sometimes I grab this last minute, sometimes I don't. It is just a really cool little towel that weighs next to nothing. I want to say it weighs maybe 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces total. And I keep it on here for a couple reasons. One, I like to clean my camera lenses with it, so that's the real reason why I keep it on here, the biggest reason. But then also, just like as I'm hiking, I can open this up and wipe off sweat or anything like that. And when I have my buff with me, that's also a great way to do that. But the buff, you put that on your head, and if you're, if you're like wiping sweat off and stuff like that, you don't want to constantly take sweat and then put it on your head, and it can get pretty dirty and nasty. So keeping the buff a little bit clean if you can is good. And then this is also good to say, like, if you want to wipe down a tent or something like that, this is a great towel to do that. So the Pack Towel Nano is the third piece of gear. The last piece of gear, well, I probably got other stuff, but it's one of the pieces of gear I bring that I haven't really talked to you guys about. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button, also subscribe for more, hit the bell notification so I can send you a video every time it's released, and I will see you on the next one. In case anybody was wondering,